people take these meetings, even if, as I said, it's not always going to be revolutionary progress, but sometimes evolutionary progress. Yeah, you know, I feel obliged to take maybe one question from the Korean press, since you guys have been such excellent hosts. Anybody? This gentleman right here, he's got his hand up. He's the only one who took me up on it. Go ahead. And I'll probably need a translation, though, if you're asking the question in Korean. In fact, I definitely will need a translation.
Unfortunately, I hate to disappoint you, President Obama. I'm actually Chinese. But
well, it's wonderful
I think I get to represent the entire Asia.
Absolutely.
We're one family here in this part of the world.
Well, your English is better than my Mandarin also, so.
Thank you.
But now, in fairness, though, I did say that I was going to let the Korean press ask a question. So I think that, you know, you held up your hand anyway.
Will my Korean friends allow me to ask a question on your behalf?
Well, it
yes
depends on whether there's a Korean reporter who'd rather have the question. No? No takers? Oh, this is getting more complicated than I expected.
Take one question from an Asian, President Obama.
Well, as I said, I was going to go ahead and ask your question, but I want to make sure that the Korean press gets a question as well.
Okay. My question is very simple. You mentioned interpretation. I know part of the difficulty being the American president is that some of the decisions that you take, actions you make, will be interpreted in a way that are not what you thought they would be or what you meant they would be. For instance, some of the actions you've taken were interpreted as anti-business domestically in the United States. And as someone just mentioned, some of the actions taken by the U.S. government that you represent as well were interpreted as sacrificing other countries' interests for America's own benefit. Mm-hmm. So it's, you find yourself constantly being interpreted in 1,000 different ways. How do you address these interpretations? With
wonderful press conferences like this, that give me the opportunity, hopefully, to provide my own interpretation. But look, I mean, you make a valid point. We live in a connected world. Everything I say, everything my administration does, anything one of my aides does is interpreted in one fashion or another. In America, we call it spin, and there's a spin cycle that is going on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I think that in this media environment, it is in some ways more challenging to make sure that your message and your intentions are getting out in a consistent basis. You know, I think that if I'm consistent with my actions and I'm consistent with my goals, then over time, hopefully people look at, you know, my overall trajectory, and they can draw accurate conclusions about what we're trying to do. With respect to business, for example, we've had in the United States some battles between myself and some in the business community around issues like financial regulation or health care. At the same time, you know, I've said repeatedly, and I said on this trip, we can't succeed unless American businesses succeed. And I'm going to do everything I can to promote their ability to grow and prosper and to sell their goods both in the United States and abroad. And the fact that the economy is now growing and trade is expanding and the stock market is up, I think, is an indication that I mean what I say. And hopefully by the end of my administration, businesses will look back and say, you know what, actually the guy was pretty good for business, even if at any given point in the road they may be frustrated. So, all right, now I'm stuck with this last one, but I think I've got to go fly a plane.